You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters.
Ah.
Yeah, good morning. It is Wednesday, October 3rd, and you are listening to the Scout Team with Scout Team Sports. I am Loudbeard. I am one of your gracious hosts.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
And all of that is true. And the man on the other mic, he is the greatest patriot I have ever known. He is so American, I just have to say...
Yeah, it's your boy coming to you live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. And then we rewind, remix, and replay it at 11 a.m. It is a Wednesday, Loudbeard. It is the day after the first wild card game. And it is a day that reminds us that we need more wild card games because last night was so good that we need to do it all over again. I don't know which team is better. I don't know if the Colorado Rockies are better or if the Cubs are better. We needed 13 innings to find out.
Yeah, I mean, last night's game was absolutely just fun to watch. There was nothing bad I could say about it. But as a Cubs fan right now, you have to be left with a little bit of a hole, some emptiness in your soul, as your team had a great year, and you come down to a one-game wild card.
A one-run wild card at that.
Yes, at 13 innings, so it's a lengthy wild card game. But I've been opposed to this whole wild card situation for a long time. Not the fact that they have a wild card game. I think it's great to have wild card, but I don't think it should be just one game. I think it should be a series. I know the season's already long, but why would Major League Baseball not want this? You're adding additional games, which means additional revenue. Fans, I think, want it. The old traditionalists have such a hard time changing rules and adapting and just becoming a better league. I read an article this week that Major League Baseball attendance at the ballparks was down 4% this year. That's a large number when you think of how many people go to these games. Being down 4% in attendance is down. Major League Baseball needs to get a little bit hipper and just be a little bit more progressive. And one of those things would be changing some of these rules. And one of the rules that I think is the worst is the wild card rule. I think this is absolutely killing the postseason, in my opinion. Now, from here on out, whoever's in it, I'm gonna love watching the NLDS and everything that goes with it. But I do think the Cubs and the Rockies, this should have been a series, not just one game.
Yeah, especially it was good to see the Rockies kind of overcome what they went through the last 24 hours. I mean, they lose in L.A. 5-2. They tried to win their division. They had to get over that disappointment, then get on an airplane, fly pretty much across the country, about 3/4 of the way across the country to Chicago, and then do it all over again. And their pitching and their infield defense was just on point the whole entire game. It was fun to watch. Normally a 2-1 game that goes 13 innings, like let's say in June, I'm changing to the channel. But in October, man, it means something. Every hit means a little bit more, and you're just excited waiting to see who's going to pull this one out.
No, I'm 100% with you, man. This was an exciting game from the very beginning. This was the big, I mentioned this last week. Tuesdays, there's always a little bit of a void. You've got football Saturday night, Friday night, Sunday, Monday, and then you get to Tuesday and you're just sitting there thinking, oh, I've had football on every day. What am I going to do with myself? And last night, I was excited about that wild card game, and it did not disappoint at all. And, the Rockies, you're right, they showed up. They had to go cross country, and they played great. And the nice thing about this game, it ends up being 2-1, Rockies with the victory in the 13th inning. But the pitching duel, I loved it, man. They were absolutely just lighting it up. John Lester, I mean, this guy has been one of those great professionals that I've loved watching over the years, from his time in Boston over now pitching for the Cubs. Now, he does let in one run in the first inning, so he does earn one run, but he's got 6 solid innings pitched. The Rockies really couldn't do much with him. Let's see. Arenado hit a sac fly in the first inning, driving in Charlie Blackmon. That was it for those first 6 innings. And then the Rockies are up 1-0 going into the 8th inning, so they look like they had a comfortable lead. The Cubs couldn't do anything offensively, it seemed like. They kept coming up short. But in the 8th inning, man, they decided that they weren't done. They wanted to make it a game. So the superstar, the possible MVP, probably right behind Yelich, but Javier Baez, he doubles to center, driving in a run in the bottom of the 8th, making this a tied ball game. And, man, when it went into extra innings, I'll be honest with you, Chris America, I was doing my best to stay awake for this game all the way through. I was watching it. I was into it. And all of a sudden, I get to extra innings, and I'm like, really? We got to go extra innings? We got to make this a really, really long game when I got to be up at 6 a.m. to do Scout Team Sports, which is one of my favorite times of the day. I get to talk about the game, and it's got to be on super late. So the extra innings, it was rough. I actually could not make it all the way through, but I got to watch the highlights this morning, and, yeah, I wish I would have watched that last 13th inning. Tony Walters singles to center, driving in Trevor Story, and the Rockies just lose it, man. These guys, they deserve it. What the Rockies have done over the last 10 or so games to get themselves into this position, and they deserve to be where they're at. And, the Cubs got the series a few years back, and now they're still a talented team. They're good enough to get to the wild card, but they got to reevaluate. When you have a coach like a manager like Joe Madden, who, in my opinion, is top 3 managers in the league, you've got to be able to get past the wild card game. And with all the young talent on the Cubs, I think the expectations were to go a lot further than what they did. So, I don't know, man. This was a great game. I enjoyed it. I feel bad for the Cubs because that one game play in a wild card deal is rough. But they also, this is it, man. This is what they played for, and they had the one game play in that they could have avoided a wild card, and they didn't win that. So this is where we're at.
Yeah, I'm not going to put too much on to Joe Madden because, I mean, he won 95 games. He did everything he needed to do to make the playoffs. He just came up 2 games short, really, if you think about it. And if he would have beaten the Brewers, they would be sitting comfortably at home waiting to start the first series of the playoffs. But they didn't. And I don't know. Sometimes that's just sports, man. You just have bad luck. Other teams are better than you. Other teams came out and played you better than you played. Other managers came out and managed better than you managed. It's not like he made total bad decisions. I saw somebody saying on Twitter that Joe Madden needs to be fired. What are we, like SEC football, fans? This guy won you a World Series 2 years ago. The Chicago Cubs have not been in this position in however many years. What, like 2003 was the last time we had a serious Cubs contender, and you guys haven't won a World Series since 1907 when, I don't know, was that Teddy Roosevelt's administration? I don't know who was president then. I feel like it's maybe Teddy Roosevelt's administration around the last time the Cubs won the World Series. A guy that has his face on Mount Rushmore was president, or right around the time he was president was the last time the Cubs won the World Series. Let's slow down on the Joe Madden hate. The guy is one of the top elite game managers, and any team would be lucky to have him. It's just, guess what? We need to get over this whole, you need to get past this point in the game, or you need to go this far. Winning a championship is hard. It is one of the most difficult things to do, and I think we've been spoiled by the Bill Belichick's and the Nick Sabans, who just win title after title and they make it look easy. Those guys are the exception to the rule. They're not the rule of the game. And when you're talking about baseball, 162 games a season, and then you got the playoffs, and you have every team's best pitchers and every team's best hitters, it's tough to win multiple World Series or even go deep into the playoff runs. I mean, how many teams do we have in the playoffs? 8 or 10?
No, I guess with the wild card, it is 10 total.
So
now we'll be down to 8 here after tonight.
Right. So we have a total of 10 teams out of, what are there, 30 teams in baseball?
Yeah.
So you got to be the top third just to make it into the playoffs, the postseason. So and then if you don't make the top 2 of your division and you make the wild card, now you only have one game, no mistakes. You don't get to do anything but be perfect. And the Colorado Rockies were just a little bit more perfect than you this year.
They were, and sometimes it's about getting hot at the right time, and we've seen it with the Brewers. Now we're seeing it with the Rockies. These teams are getting hot at the right time. They're making it through. And like you said with Madden, I saw a lot of criticism. The announcers were doing it last night. Lester had 6 great innings pitched, and they ended up Madden pulled him. He pulls him to the side and says, "Hey, I appreciate everything you did. It's time we're gonna move on, and we're gonna bring in a young or a fresh arm." And all the announcers are like, "Man, I don't know if this is the right decision. Lester's so hot right now. He's had 6 great innings pitched. Let's see if he can do one more." He looks like he's hanging his head. He's not happy about this decision. He's not happy that Joe Madden's pulling him. And I think that, I guess just when you're watching the game and the announcers start saying that, that's when everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what's Joe Madden doing?"
Right.
This doesn't make any sense.
That move didn't cost them the game, though. That's the
No,
thing.
it did not.
They're making such a big deal about it, but the Rockies didn't get another hit or another run until the 13th inning. So
Absolutely.
Lester would have been gone anyways. If he stayed 7, 8, 9, 10, he could have stayed 12 innings. He's still not the guy that gave up the run. Now, you could say if the Cubs get out of there, they would have less arms to go to in the next series because they would have expired out some. I think, who did they bring in? Cole Hamels in the 10th inning, I think, is who they brought in, is one of their starting pitchers. That's obviously, when you're in the playoffs, you don't want a starting pitcher coming in relief because now you got to rest him up a little bit longer. But all in all, 95 wins. You lose 2-1 and a heartbreaker in the 13th inning of a one-game wild card. I don't know what else Joe Madden is supposed to do. Maybe get better hitting coaches. You just met a good team. You mentioned how good John Lester was. Kyle Freeland was even better. That guy was throwing heat. He was on short rest. He gave 6 1/3 or 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. I mean, the kid was just on fire. And like I said, the infield for the Rockies, the Cubs were left with just, you got to hit it over the infield or you're not getting on base. That was it. You're either getting walked, which didn't happen often, or you got to lift the ball out into the outfield, right between the infield and the outfield guy.
Oh, man, absolutely. And that's kind of what my point was with the pitching duel. You had Freeland and Lester. This was great baseball. This is like classic, 2 great starting pitchers. And that's what I love seeing about the playoffs, is because you get into that point where these teams are willing to put it all on the line. They brought in Cole Hamels. They had Kyle Hendricks pitching. They're bringing in all their starting pitchers at the end of the game, because if you don't win, you're gone. You're done. Your season's over.
Yeah.
So you might as well put it all out there.
No, yeah, you definitely have to, and that's what my only point was. Like, maybe if Lester goes to the 7th or the 8th, then you can extend the next guy longer and the next guy longer, kind of deal. And you don't have to maybe bring in Cole Hamels, or maybe he comes in but maybe only pitches 2 innings and your team gets you the win. I mean, I think you got to put a lot on the batters for the Cubs, as much as you do, Joe Madden making a pitching change in the 6th.
Yeah, no, man. I don't know. That was a great game. I'm just now getting pumped up about baseball. I'm looking forward to everything, and this is going to be an absolute just great offseason for baseball. The playoffs are going to be amazing, and this is just the start of it. This was just day one. Chris America, we had that great game day one, and we have another one tonight, right?
Another one-game wild card series between the Oakland Athletics and the New York Yankees. Yankees coming in with 100 wins, and we could be coming in tomorrow morning making the same complaints, sounding like a broken record, complaining about if the Yankees lose. I mean, we'll be happy because I don't think either one of us are Yankees fans, but it does suck if you win 100 games and you only get one shot to advance in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the problem with the wild card. You're right. 100 games, because the Red Sox were even better than you were. You don't get the chance for your division, but you win 100 games, and this could be it. I guess that just means the Yankees have to step up, right? This just shows that the Yankees have to put it all on the line tonight, and they have to be the better team if they want to push through. Now, if they go through, they're going to be playing the Red Sox. This is going to be a fun series if that happens. Now, we mentioned it yesterday. We get tired of these juggernauts always being in the playoffs. You see a team like the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Cubs and the Dodgers. These are teams that seem like they're always in the mix. Sometimes we like that underdog, and I think that's where the A's are sitting right now. They're sitting as the underdog. Now, something interesting about this game, I don't know if you got an opportunity to see this, but they're starting Liam Hendriks, who is a guy that they've used as a starter, and we're going to use the term starter very loosely here for a little bit, but this is the old trick that the Rays were doing earlier in the season where they bring in, this guy's like more like a relief pitcher, and they come in and have him start, and he starts and he just pitches for about 2 innings, and then they bring in the next guy. So they're going like full rotation. They got Liam Hendriks starting for the Athletics, and he's only going to pitch 1, maybe 2 innings. He's going to do 2 quality innings, and then they're going to bring in the next reliever. So they're doing it kind of the reverse as the traditional baseball way where you have a starter come in and pitch a bunch of innings, and then you bring in the reliever. He's kind of the reliever starting. So I like what the A's are doing, man. This is it. This is the last game of the season if you do not win. You put it all out there. You do whatever you have to do to make this work, and you don't pull any punches. You go out there and you say, hey, guess what? Hendriks is our best chance to win, even if I can only get 2 quality innings out of him, and then I got to start working on that rotation. I'm doing it. And so the A's are going all in. Now the Yankees, they're being a little bit more traditional. They've got their ace, Luis Severino, going in, so that they know that they got to win this game. So they've got their best pitcher out on the mound. The A's have their best pitcher. Let's see if the A's move to have the starter go ahead out there and only pitch a couple innings and see if that works for them. I'm hoping it does. I'd love to see the A's have a great game. Now, I said this yesterday that I want the A's to win, and I think it's because of, a little bit because of my hate for the big Yankees, and they've always been the we buy our team, and everybody loves them. All the New Yorkers are huge Yankees fans. But a little bit inside of me wants to see a Red Sox-Yankees series. I think I would much rather enjoy watching a Red Sox-Yankees series than I would an A's-Red Sox series. And that's because the Yankees, I want to see Aaron Judge. I want to see Giancarlo Stanton. I want to see all these big names that the Yankees have. And the names in the headlines make a better series to me. Now I'm a little bit torn, Chris Merrick. I don't know if I should be going for the Yankees, going for the Athletics. I don't know. What are you doing in this game? Like, who are you going for? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm going for the Athletics. I kind of have them as my preliminary AL team just because they're different. They are that small market team or smaller market. Not that Oakland's a small city, but they're the smaller market. They're going through all this turmoil with the Raiders leaving them and trying to go to San Diego before they go to Las Vegas. So I feel like that fan base needs a little pick-me-up. Their team is 1-3. They should be 0-4, but it is what it is with the referees in the Oakland Cleveland game. So I'm going for the Athletics. We're sitting here complaining about the poor Yankees having 100 wins if they only get a 1-game series. The Athletics have 97 wins, so it's not like the Yankees are that much better than the Athletics. I don't know. The thing I was noticing about these wild card games is this is totally different from the wild card teams of the NFL or basketball. I guess they don't have wild card games in basketball, but the bottom teams in the playoffs, which these would be the bottom teams, is the wild card teams, have like 97 wins, have 100 wins. There's no teams with at 500 or losing records getting into the playoffs, and that's one thing I do like and get excited about. So whether it's the 100-win Yankees going to play the Red Sox or the 97-win Athletics, you're going to get 2 top teams in baseball, 2 teams that can absolutely go on a run and a tear through the playoffs, make it to the World Series, and make something happen. So that's one of the things that I'm really excited about, and one of the things that I love about baseball, where baseball kind of does it right. So, I'm just going to keep talking. I think I lost Loudbeard on the mic. Another good series coming up. So, do I want to see Yankees Red Sox? No, not really. I've seen it 1,000 times. I saw it a bunch of times. during the regular season. Anytime these two played each other, they put the game on ESPN. The whole like, oh, I want to see these rivalries in the playoffs and everything. I guess that's cool if I'm a big baseball purist or baseball enthusiast, but I'm really not. I'm just a sports fan who likes baseball, not a baseball fan who likes sports. So I really don't care about Red Sox Yankees. I don't care about rivalries that don't involve my teams. If that makes me sound bad, then so be it. But I'd rather just see two really good teams go at it. If that's Yankees Red Sox, then by all means, yeah, let's see that. And I think it would be a fun series. But I think the Athletics would also be a really good series with the Red Sox as well. You get the whole West Coast versus East Coast thing. Get to watch the teams travel back and forth, see how they handle the road travel and everything. And like I said, I just want to see the Oakland Athletics do well for the Raiders that they lost, for the fan base that lost the Raiders.
Yeah, but the Raiders, they need to be able to go out there and play on that baseball clay still. So we need to make sure the A's keep winning so that the Raiders still have to go out and play on that awful baseball field so that all the NFL fans can all complain about it. So I see where you're going with that. Athletics, again, yeah, they're the underdog. I like it. I guess it's just the big names with the Yankees I want to see out there. So I'll go Yankees tonight. You go A's, and then we can just rub it in each other's faces when one of us wins and one of us
will
loses.
eat an idiot sandwich, and one of us will be a genius, even though neither one of us know what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. Thursday night.
But that's how we'll be like ESPN Sports Turd and Fox Sports analysts.
Yeah, it's true.
We'll just pretend
like
that we
you
know
know
what
what
we're
you're
talking
talking about, and then
when we get it wrong, we'll just ignore it. And when we get it right, we'll be like, "This is why I'm a sports analyst because I know everything."
Now Thursday night, Dodgers are going up against the Braves. Now the only reason I bring this up is because the Dodgers named their starter, and it's not Clayton Kershaw. It's the first time in a very long time Kershaw is not the starter going into the playoffs for his team. They named Ryu as their starter. Now, this guy was injured most of the year.
Wait, Ryu from
Hadouken.
Street Fighter?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's
got a mean
Hyunjin
fastball,
Ryu.
man. Hyunjin Ryu?
Yes. Hadouken. So, Ryu, he gets the start.
Wait,
now,
who
he was
did Jean-Claude Van Damme play in Street Fighter? Was he Ryu? No, he wasn't Ryu.
No, he was Ken, maybe.
Ken,
no,
that's right. No.
He wasn't
Well,
Ken.
he was
Ken
an
and
army
Ryu
guy.
were different. Yeah, I can't remember.
Or
I
was
know
he just like a
Bison was the
made-up
bad guy.
character?
No, he was a real character. I just can't remember what it was. That was
I know
a really
he was-
good cheesy movie.
He was Chun-Li.
Still is.
That was my
And-
favorite character to play as in that game was Chun-Li because I just mashed the B button a bunch of times and did the kick thing and just hoped for the best. That's pretty much how I played Street Fighter. Button mashing.
I was a button masher too. All my
Okay, didn't mean
purist
to
video
interrupt,
game
but
fans hated
You brought
that.
me back to 1992 or whenever Street Fighter came out, and I was just having a moment. Maybe we can talk about that during Thursday Throwback Time Machine Thursday, whatever we're calling
Well,
it.
that's a good idea. We could start bringing video games into it. That's actually smart. We're bringing a new segment of listeners, the video game.
Forget music.
purists.
We'll talk about video games next time.
Absolutely. Thursday night, like I was saying, the Dodgers and Braves.
Travel
We've
Thursday.
got Kershaw not starting. I don't know if this is big news or not. Kershaw's going to start the second game of the series. Kershaw's the big name, one of the best pitchers over the last, 5 or 10 years. And we love watching the big names out there, but I got to give it to the Dodgers. They're doing the same thing. They're going to put the best players on the field and attempt to win the game as best as they can. And I can't fault them for that. So big decision here, and they're going for it. So I don't know. That's kind of how it is. Now, Chris America, I think I've baseballed us out. We have had an absolute great start to the baseball playoffs, but it's time to move on. It's time to talk about other things going on in the world. This story I wanted to throw out there for you real quick. We're talking middle of the week, so NFL starts getting the little weird stories. But, Michael Kendricks goes over to the Seahawks from the Browns. He was cut from the Browns because of the insider trading allegations. Well, the NFL came out and indefinitely suspended Michael Kendricks from the NFL, so he will not be playing for the Seahawks. again, with the insider trading, that's a totally different crime than we're used to NFL players being involved with. And this is a story that's been going on now for several weeks. But the good news about this story is I think our guy Shaquem is going to be getting some playing time out of this. Now, Kendricks came in and was starting over Shaquem, and Shaquem wasn't getting the playing time he deserved over there. And I think the Seahawks need Shaquem Griffin. They need him to lead this defense with his brother Shaquille. And UCF legend, the man, I hate to put it this way, the guy with one hand, if you don't know who he is already, you're living in the dark. But Shaquem Griffin, this is his chance to shine, and I think he's going to come in and fill in nicely for the Seahawks, fill in for Kendricks, and go in there and do what he did in college. He sat the bench the first couple years because nobody was giving him a chance. When he got out on the field, the guy makes plays. He's a playmaker all over the place. He's going to be sideline to sideline, tackling machine, and I'm excited to now watch the Seahawks again. I want to see what Shaquem can do on the NFL level.
Yeah, he's been making tons of plays on special teams, doing what he can. I made a bold prediction that he was going to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I did not foresee the Seahawks signing a guy waiting for his sentence hearing on a felony after being convicted of a felony. Yes, it's insider trading. Is it as horrific as domestic violence or sexual assault? No, it's not, but it's still a crime, and it's a crime that should be taken seriously. It's a felony. It's bad. I mean, like we mentioned when he was playing on Monday Night Football and Booger McFarland had to be like, this guy's facing jail time. Something you never want said about your football players during a football game is that they're ready to face jail time while they're in the game. Go take care of your business. Go handle it. The guy should have never been allowed to play. Like the second a judge or a jury said guilty and we're waiting for a sentence hearing on a felony, if it's a misdemeanor, that's one thing. But we're talking about a felony here. Let's give guys who have worked hard, do the right thing at all times, and always make good decisions like Shaquem Griffin. Let's give those guys a chance to prove themselves on the field. And when those other guys who can't seem to make the right decision pay their time and pay their debt to society and change their ways and learn from their mistakes, then those guys can come back and they can prove themselves on the field as well. But right now it's Shaquem Griffin time. It should have always been Shaquem Griffin time. The Seahawks and the NFL totally screwed the pooch on that decision.
Yeah, I don't even know why the Seahawks took a chance on that guy. I guess it's all about winning, and they thought he was more talented, or he would give them a better chance to win. I
think they get what they deserve, signing a guy and then having him suspended. What, did they sign him 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it was after week 1. So yeah,
3
weeks ago. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you talk about the NFL wiping away these problems. There's another guy that's having some good luck in the I said NBA. NFL wiping away these problems. There's another guy in the NFL who's got some problems that he had to wipe away, and that's Jets running back Isaiah Crowell. You remember him from that Thursday night game against the Cleveland Browns where he was going up against his former team, and he had that nice touchdown celebration where he wiped his butt with the football. Well, it looks like there is a company out there called the Dude Wipes that has stepped up to the plate, and they are offering Isaiah Crowell a partnership. And Isaiah Crowell is going to be the official spokesman of Dude Wipes because he knows how to wipe his butt with a football for the Cleveland Browns, and now Dude Wipes is stepping up. Man, hey, good things happen when you talk trash to your old team, I guess, huh?
See, I love this, man. I like when they announce that they're going to allow players to be players and have a little fun and do the celebrations. That was one of the best decisions the NFL's ever made. I've loved seeing all the different creative ways to celebrate. And now businesses are getting smart. They're looking at the celebrations, and now they're going to do butt wipes. Dude Butt Wipes is going to sponsor a player all off of a celebration. I think other companies need to get on board. Like when players do the luging thing where they pretend to be lugers, maybe a luging sled company can sponsor the NFL players and everything. I think it'd be fun to see NFL players on a luge. Maybe it can be like the NFL's version of the banana boat type deal. What do you think?
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know why banana boats haven't sponsored the entire NBA. I thought that's a missed opportunity for banana boats.
I mean, I feel like banana boat should be the official boat of the NBA.
Absolutely. There's no way that it wouldn't be. And I don't know what you said, a luging sled. I don't
Yeah.
even know what like. There's bobsleds. I don't know who makes them. I'd throw out a
Probably
company
Bob.
name. Yeah,
It's
the name
Bob
of the company
Barricades.
is Bob's.
Bob's
Sleds.
Barricades. Well, there's Bob's Barricades, and then there's Bob's Sleds. That's
Yeah.
where the term comes from. It's kind of like Kleenex.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Big time. Real quick before we run into commercial, I had one other NFL news take I wanted to throw out at you, and that would be Des Bryant, man. He's throwing out videos of him working out. He's throwing how great his hands are looking. Now, we're starting to really get into the football season. We're almost a quarter of the way through here. Some teams have buys, so they're close to being a quarter of the way through. Why isn't Des Bryant signed yet? And what teams out there do you think are going to take a chance on this guy? The further the season gets along, the more injuries are happening. I can't see this guy staying on the sidelines for too much longer. Somebody's got to give him a chance. I mean, do you have any ideas of who's going to take a chance? I'd love to see him go play for the Browns. Packers probably could use a few more offensive weapons, but they probably need more running back help than anything else. My Washington Redskins, I'm not opposed to them taking a chance on him. The Cowboys actually could really use some wide receiver help, but I think that's a little bit late. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Who do you think Des Bryant ends up landing with?
I don't have a specific team, but I know what type of team it needs to be. It needs to be a team with a strong quarterback. So like you mentioned, the Green Bay Packers, it's got to be a guy like Aaron Rodgers who demands respect, that Des Bryant would never, think of overstepping the boundaries. We kind of saw, I'm not going to call Donovan McNabb a lesser quarterback, but Donovan McNabb and the whole Terrell Owens thing, Donovan McNabb was a really good quarterback, but he wasn't a great quarterback that a wide receiver had to respect and had to understand he's really, really great, and there's nothing I can say to him that he doesn't already know. So you don't need a quarterback like Donovan McNabb in there that can kind of get walked all over because he's not great or elite. So who are those teams? I guess that's the Patriots, which I don't think that's going to happen since they kind of they kicked the tires on that a little bit and nothing really came of that. Maybe your Aaron Rodgers type. I don't think the New Orleans Saints need any help. I'm trying to think. Who else needs help out there at wide receiver? I don't know what the wide receiver situations are for each team. I know my Carolina Panthers, I feel like, could use the help at wide receiver. I don't know how that relationship though would go between Cam Newton and Des Bryant. I feel like Cam Newton's kind of in that Donovan McNabb arena right now as far as how good he is. Maybe he's a little bit better than Donovan McNabb, but he's not great. He's not an elite quarterback. And that's my own quarterback. That's my team. I love Cam Newton. I love what he does, but he still leaves a lot left to be desired. So I could see Dez getting on his case after a few overthrows or a few missed cues on the route and everything.
What about a team like the Seahawks with Russell Wilson, who is an established quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback that has respect?
That's true.
And, they're not looking that great this year. I feel like they need a little bit of offensive help. They could use a guy like Des Bryant. That's just one team that comes to mind. And you said, yeah, he can't go to a team like the Buffalo Bills with a young quarterback like Josh Allen and a team that's got a losing record like that. That's not going to work out. Same thing with Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, you got Josh Rosen over there as the quarterback. Even if it was Sam Bradford, it would not be a good mix. That's not what that team needs. So those teams are automatically eliminated. But there's some winning teams. Yeah, go ahead.
I got one more team. What about the Detroit Lions? I think Matt Stafford can handle Des Bryant and handle that relationship pretty well. He's still kind of in that Donovan McNabb arena, but I don't know. I feel like he's got the arm strength. He worked well with Megatron and everything. So not saying that Megatron's a diva or anything, but he was a great wide receiver that demanded a lot from his quarterback. You can't just not deliver the ball to one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. So he's been in that relationship where he has a guy who demands a lot from the quarterback, and you're expected to deliver. And Matt Stafford's done that before. And I think they could give a little help to Galladay and Golden Tate. They leave a lot left to be desired. They're good. Sometimes Golden Tate will show up and he'll give you what he did last weekend and give you 100+ yards. Other games he kind of disappears and only gets like 3 catches for 30 yards.
Yeah, and Brian I don't think is going to be one of those like 10 catches for 120 yards type guys. but he's a big target in the red zone. I think some of these teams that need help converting in the red zone, he would be the perfect fit. And like you said, the Lions, I mean, Golden Tate, this guy's more of a speedster, does some slot stuff. That's not what Des Bryant does. I think Des Bryant could be a good complement to what Galladay and Golden Tate are doing. Man, another great example. All right, well, I feel like it is time for a quick commercial break.
I didn't realize we went 5 over.
Yeah, that's no worries, man. We are the Scout Team. You're listening to Scout Team Sports every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. and again 11 a.m. on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. We will catch you on the flip side.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
Oh, guess who it is? Did you know the station had a janitor? Oh, yeah, the Jefe, otherwise known as Beck. And it's Beck's Work Week in Review live on 12-Ounce Sports Radio every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch interviews, special guests, and the recap of the week's news and headlines and box scores and results. It's Beck's Work Week in Review live on 12-Ounce Sports Radio.
Scout Team listeners and friends of the show, I've got something special for you. It looks like 12-Ounce Sports Radio has done it again. We have partnered with Rally House. You just go to the website 12ozsportsradio.com. Click on the banner on the right side of the page, and it will take you directly to Rally House. Rally House has some of the greatest, most unique sports items for that diehard fan, casual fan, and anybody and everybody out there that is special in your life. So go ahead and check it out. Once again, go to that website, 12ozsportsradio.com. Click on the banner to the right of the page, and you will get taken to the best sports merchandise website on all of the interweb. Do you own a small business? Are you looking for solutions to all of your communications, problems, and challenges that you have? Check out Ring Central. Give them a call. They have partnered with 12ouncesportsradio.com to give you the best rates on all of your business and office solutions for communication. Give them a call today. We have a dedicated line for all of the 12-Ounce Sports Radio listeners. It is 1-877-779-3860. You will get a representative on the phone who will help you with all of your small business communications needs. Once again, give them a call today, 1-877-779-3860. Yeah, that's right. Today is Wednesday, October 3rd, and you are listening to the Scout Team with Scout Team Sports. And this is a beautiful Wednesday morning. We are on the airwaves on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. We love doing what we do, but there's a lot of other great shows out there, and I want to give some just props out to the schedule ahead of us. At 8 a.m., Clutch Talk Sports. At noon, we've got Memphis Spence with our affiliate Sports Radio America College Credit Hour coming on at noon. And later tonight, great show because you've got Scout Team After Dark. That's right. Great Scout Team After Dark show coming on tonight. That is us, but we do it after dark. I am going to be an absentee this evening, but Chris America and the man with the golden mic, the golden ghost, the male aficionado, the man with too many names, Anthony Mack, is going to be bringing it live and bringing it in hot. So you guys have to listen to that. It's going to be amazing. And after that, we got We Talk Sports Good. Man, amazing lineup tonight. Wednesdays are great lineup on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. And if you want to catch any of our old episodes, don't forget to check it out. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. You can just search Scout Team Radio, or if you want, you can go to our website, scoutteamradio.com. All right, man. Chris America, you got it tonight, man. You're coming in hot with Scout Team After Dark. You excited about it? You guys got anything fun planned?
We always like to shoot from the hip here at Scout Team Radio, and our Scout Team After Dark is even more so that, especially since we started doing Wednesday mornings. It's been really hard to kind of turn around. The turnaround is a lot harder from Wednesday night to Thursday morning because we kind of, shoot all of our ammo on Wednesday night, and then not much happens in between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. But, I have a pretty good Chris America's Dummy All-Stars or Stupid People All-Stars. So it should be a good one. Nice little spoiled brat one. We'll have a good show. We always do.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going to be able to hear it live, but I will catch the replay, and I will catch the Apple Podcast version of the Scout Team After Dark. And it is one of my favorite shows to listen to. Even though most of the time I'm on it, I still like to go back and listen because we have a lot of fun. We know how to bring it.
Well, I do have one topic I want to discuss with you, and I'll probably bring it up again tonight. So you'll kind of hear Loudbeard's take on this, and we'll get Golden Mac, Golden Mike, Golden Ghost, Golden Male Aficionado. We'll get his take later on tonight. But one of the things I want to ask you is we have a surprisingly large number of teams who have only gotten one win through 4 weeks of football in the NFL. And we have one team that's winless, so a total of 13 teams with one or fewer wins in the NFL. That's almost half of the league. And I'm looking at the list of these teams, Loudbeard, and about half of them I still feel like are playoff contenders. The other half you just throw away. They're your typical 1-3. They're going to finish the season 2-14 type teams and get the first 5 picks of the draft. So what are your thoughts on which teams are playoff contenders and which teams are top 5 draft contenders? I'm going to give you the name. We'll just kind of go through a quick I'll say the name and you react with either playoff or top 5. Ready for this?
All right. So playoff or top 5. Playoff or top 5 draft. Okay.
Top 5 draft, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or let's just call it top 10 since there's 13 teams here with one or fewer wins. Buffalo Bills.
Draft.
All right.
Top 5 draft.
Top 5 draft.
Yep.
I'm going to say probably they'll be top 10. I don't think they'll be top 5. I think Allen will get them a few wins to kind of get them from 6 to 10.
You have a lot more confidence in them than I do. I don't even think. I think they're top 3 draft.
Ooh, really? Top 3? Okay, there's some other teams here that might be top 3.
Cardinals and Bills to me.
Okay, Jets.
Draft.
Top 10 or top 5?
Oh, now you're really just making it hard.
That's what she said.
Oh, boy. I wish I had that up right now. Yeah, let's go. We'll go top 5.
Okay. Raiders.
Top 10.
Okay, so draft there. Here comes your 2 fun ones. The Cleveland Browns.
Playoffs.
I like that. That's the first time in a long time they've not been top 10 draft if they make the playoffs. Steelers.
Top 10 draft.
Okay, wow.
Hot take.
Texans.
No, this is going to be an unpopular decision, but I'm going to go playoffs.
Ooh, you think they bounce back?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, man. This guy, he's got it. He had to recover from the injury. He was a little rusty at first, but I can see it in his eyes. This guy, I think he's going to be a killer as it comes down the line.
Surprisingly, the biggest question mark for the Texans is their defense.
Yeah, and that's got to come together, too. Watt finally played really well this past game.
Right.
I think it'll get better.
But Andrew Luck still moved the ball fairly well and was just a 1 4th down play away from winning it. The Colts, speaking of.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. I'm going to go draft, but barely in the draft. Not top 10. They're going to be.
So like 12 to 16?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Redskins. No, they're not. They got 2 wins. Oh, Giants.
Draft.
Yeah, definitely. I think they'll be Somewhere
Top
between
10.
6 and 10. Yeah.
Yep.
49ers.
The Garoppolo thing, they got to be top 5.
Beathard didn't actually look that bad against the Chargers. He put up a respectable game, had them in there late. I couldn't tell if it was the Niners playing well or if the Chargers doing what the Chargers always do, which is not living up to their potential of being a playoff team that we think they are and playing down to their competition.
Yeah, no, he pleasantly surprised me. I thought the Chargers were easily going to handle that game. The 49ers were in it, and Chargers ended up winning it at the very end. I think the 49ers still have a little bit left in the tank, but I think as the season progresses, you're going to start seeing some of those deficiencies come up, and having a young quarterback like C.J. Beathard is just going to hurt them as the season develops.
All right, you already said the Cardinals are going to be 1 or 2.
Yeah,
Definitely
Cardinals
top
are
3
awful.
draft. So we'll skip those. Let's go Vikings.
Oh, Vikings playoffs.
This is probably one of the deepest divisions here because I'm going to say Lions, and I don't know how you feel, but I think the Lions can make the playoffs.
They
They're a
can
good
make
enough
the
team.
playoffs, but they're going to be on the fringe. They're like the Colts, where they'll be good, but they're not going to be playoff good.
Yeah, last year the NFC South sent 3 teams to the playoffs. It was the most stacked division. This year, I think it's NFC North all the way.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the way the Bears have been playing, and then with
Yeah.
the Vikings and Packers in there, and then of course you got the Lions. All 4 of these teams could easily make the playoffs. There's no weak link in this, and maybe the Lions are the weakest link, but that's a very strong weak link.
Right. So I mean, they could miss the playoffs being a 9-7 or even a 10-6 team, but because the Bears, Packers, and Vikings are all 10-6 as well, they could all go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. So then the last team is the Atlanta Falcons, 1-3, the last team on the list.
Wow, they're a good 1-3, and a lot of good teams in the NFC. The NFC's pretty strong. I mean, when you look at the NFC South, the Bucks, I mean, they started out 2-0, but they've kind of come down to earth. We got the Saints and the Panthers and the Falcons. All 3 of those teams are playoff potential teams, in my opinion. I think the Falcons will be left on the outside looking in, unfortunately, but that's a really talented team, and if they pull it together, they could easily make the playoffs. I can't say that they're not, but I don't know. I think the NFC is just it's too stacked this year. I think, like you said, the North might end up having 2 teams make the playoffs, and the South. Obviously they're going to at least have 1 team, but they could easily have 2 teams, and maybe the North have 2 teams. I don't know. I just see the Falcons on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. If I were to give you $100 to put money on, now Loudbeard, I know you're a gambling man, but I know you're quitting. But so this isn't your money; it's my $100. If I gave you $100, which team are you putting down and say this is going to be the team I want to lock in as definitely making the playoffs out of all of the rest? I think you've said the Vikings. I think you've said the Vikings will make the playoffs. You kind of hem and hawed on the Lions and the Falcons, so I'll put those back in there for you, just in case you want to change your mind. And you had the Browns making the playoffs.
Yep.
So out of those teams, which one do you want to put your $100 on to definitely make the playoffs?
Definitely $100 on. Wow. For the 1-3 teams, I don't know. I've been very reluctant on gambling lately because I haven't been doing very well at
Right.
it.
So again, this is my fictional hypothetical $100 that doesn't even belong to you. It belongs to me hypothetically.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I don't want anybody coming back. I've already got enough bookies after me. I don't need Chris America bookie coming after me. That's not how I want this to be. Man, I don't know, Chris America. You're killing me with this one. Let's go Browns. No, I can't do Browns. Browns, that's just, I can't do it. I can't do that with a straight face. Give me the teams one more time. You're just going to say them real quick, rapid fire, and I'm just going to pick one.
Falcons, Lions, Vikings, and Browns. I'll even throw the Steelers in there just to make it a little bit harder
I'll do
for you.
Vikings. Vikings are the team that I think will make it out of that group.
That's a good team. That's a good team, man.
Yeah, it's got to do it. Man, Kirk Cousins. He used to be a top 5 quarterback. Now he's maybe a top 10 quarterback, but still a great quarterback nonetheless.
Yeah, top 5. Definitely. His stats put it up. I don't have them in front of me, but we can go over that tomorrow. Definitely top 5. he's good.
Yeah, he's good. Let's see. What else we got going on today? Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh,
Did you have a caller?
I don't know. I felt like there was a caller coming in. Sometimes you just get that. Let me see what we've got going on. Hey, caller, you're on the air. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Kyle, it's me. I heard you want to play bets again.
Oh God, my bookie. God, Say, I'm sorry. Nikolai Nikolov, whatever the hell your name is. I'll get the money to you. I got good gambling going on. I got the Vikings this week. They got to win. Kirk Cousins, he's a top 5 quarterback. Don't break my legs.
No, I'm not going to break your legs. I'm listening to your channel. I listen to your show. I say, hey, Kyle's back in the gambling game again. I know you quit this past summer, but now I want to extend a little friendly offer. I loan you some money. I know your friend wanted to loan you money, but he said it was hypothetical money. So I give you money. You bet on Vikings. We see how they do the rest of the season. Let's do this again.
Okay, I can dig this. How much are we talking? What is your capacity? Like, can I do?
Dude, Island, my friend. Big money. They win big money, and we're all happy. It's all good.
All right, we might have to talk about this off air because this sounds like a good deal. What do I have to draw it up in blood on the contract? How does this work again? I forget. It's been a while since I've had to put my money on the line.
You know, I send Boris over to you. Boris, go over there. He takes care of details. You know, we don't like discussing things on air.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're not. This is monopoly money. We're not talking real money. Wink. And so we're gonna go ahead and this is good. I like this. Let's do it.
All right. $100 bet at least minimum on Vikings making 2 playoffs. I like it. It's good.
Wait. 2 playoffs? Who said 2 playoffs?
To the playoffs. You said 2 playoffs. Vikings definitely.
Oh. I thought you meant like two playoff wins. Now you're getting sketchy.
Yeah, if you want, we put big money on Viking wins in playoffs.
We're talking $100, not 100,000, right?
100,000. Yeah, that sounds good, Kyle. You big gambler, man. I like you. I like the cojones on this one. You always big cojones when you bet, Kyle. I like it.
Yeah. That's how I roll, man. Thank you.
I have other clients to call, other degenerates to take care of. So you have a good day, Kyle.
All right. Thank you so much. I don't know who this Kyle fella is, but as you guys know, I am Loudbeard.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I always call you by your legal name, so my Boris knows where to find you.
That's true. Good point.
And break your leg. And give you money.
Oh, get out of here. Bye. That damn bookie won't leave me alone. Chris America, are you there? Did you hear that conversation? That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're back in the gambling game. It's exciting.
Well, you can't keep a good man down. That's what I always say.
Don't bring me down.
Is that a song? What are you singing over there?
I don't know, man. I just get songs in my head. I have a little DJ that lives inside of my head, and he spins records all the time.
Oh, nice. Nice. All right.
So $100,000 bet, man. I'm excited. We can finally get this radio show off the ground if the Vikings get 2 wins in the playoffs.
That's a good point. I feel good about it. I think I'm going to bet on some baseball, too. We'll go some football bets.
Oh, man. As soon as you took one hit of gambling, you're back in it.
Well, sometimes I have to have a diverse portfolio. This is
diversify.
What gambling's
That's
all
true.
about. You can't just go one bet. You have to just make sure you put a couple good bets out there. I'm just giving the gamblers out there some good advice. So I think that is the best way to do it. I already have a bet going out with you for this McGregor-Khabib fight.
Romper bet. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah. And, all the VIPs are going to be out at this match. They say that it's bringing out a lot of the elite Hollywood types.
So Mia Khalifa?
Yep. Elon Musk will be out there. You love him.
Yeah, he's cool.
SpaceX, Space Force.
He's doping it up.
Mel Gibson. Great director,
man,
great actor.
Is that who you really want coming to your fights?
Yep, Mel Gibson. He's a good one to have. Matt Damon will be out there. He's a nice gentleman.
Matt Damon. Played
now,
a good...
If you had a chance, in between the fight, so before you needed, how there's, the undercards? You think so? Elon Musk is there. Like Steve Ballmer's like sitting in front of him and keeps jumping up and like getting in his way, and like Musk gets pissed off. Do you think like in between they can say, "Hold on 1 second, we're gonna bring in a celebrity fight, have Steve Ballmer versus Elon Musk, crazy CEO versus crazy CEO, who wins?" I think that would actually bring a bigger draw. Pay-per-view numbers would be through the roof. That's what I want to see.
At the very least, we need to make claymation of them and have them fight and have a bald referee saying, "Let's get it on."
Nope, that's a good one. And with Matt Damon there, him and Ben Affleck, everybody's been begging for that fight for years.
Oh, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, it'll be pandemonium.
Well, sir, it is about that time. Do you have any parting words for our listeners?
No, not really. I'm out of ideas. I'm out of topics. Just see you guys later tonight. Grab some beers and join us.
All right, he's Chris America. I'm Loudbeard, and this was Scout Team Sports.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Man, that was a cool show. I love that. Back in the
We
day.
probably hate it now, but since it came
was
out when
probably
we were in
stupid
like
then.
middle school, high school, we loved it.
So true.